No picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Washington Redskins taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Snow and Lambeau, Coach. Something about that combo that just works, like peanut butter and jelly. And we've got half a foot of the white stuff and still coming down here in Green Bay. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay. And this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go! Let's go!
They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 17 carries, 123 yards, and a touchdown.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 45 on second down, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 39. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now Smith. Caught on the right side. Reed. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 27. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. It's the Dolphins that have grabbed the early lead over the Jets. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action. Now Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. Going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that. They might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Let's go. Hey, exit. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check, 56.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now a man in his 13th NFL season, it's Adrian Peterson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Redskins with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. On 2nd and 9, Smith. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go and they bring him down. Kyler Fackrell. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, and it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 29, Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 12-yard line.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from chilly Philadelphia. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing is Smith. His throw incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run the counter now. It's Peterson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Smith. Rashawn Gary able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A shotgun snap for Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Throwing now is Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 77 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchdown. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Redskins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just is not. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Josh Doxson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
88.
They'll go again to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Able to spin free. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently. We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
56. Let's go.
On 1st down, it's Jones. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Hey, check 26.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers over the middle. That's caught by Adams. And he's taken down inside the 30. 16 yards, a 1st down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game, but that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. from the 35 on second down. Smith looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Peterson. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Come on now, let's go.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical. You figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
11 yards there, first down. Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. This is Thompson, and that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 33. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
90 all day, every day, any day. Like if you want.
Now a first down throw, it's Smith. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Kevin King with a pick. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
To throw again on second down. Smith. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Throwing again on second down. Smith. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
On first down, it's Smith. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. On second down, Peterson. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, here's Smith. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Rodgers throwing here. Caught on the right side by Jones. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a third down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And again, it's Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Rodgers again now. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Now it's Rodgers, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jimmy Graham with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Packers, it's a
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
This be the green light. Go.